Well, hello, model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Rao, and this week I'm going to update you on my 65 Impalas that I'm building here. These are the Monogram Revell kits, and I'm really enjoying these. These are a lot of fun. It's kind of funny a kit that's sat so long in my stash, and I started way back in 2012. But I always loved this color. So, you guys have seen it. I painted it, but this is the hardtop version right here with the 396, and I'm more than halfway done with it. I did it in kind of a soft, silver metallic blue, and and then I actually got the chassis finished here. So I'll show you a little bit more of that here in a second here. I'm working on the interior, doing the same blue. It's actually the same color. It's just clear coat, no clear coat. So makes it look more like vinyl. But apparently I washed these parts really well because I didn't have any of the paint peeling off or scraping off. So console is detailed, and this is done. I'm getting the dash done, so this is what the dash is looking like. But there's really no decals to this one. Here's the top of the dash, the firewall here, and the inside of the firewall, which I sprayed that blue color so that because you can see some of this and the pedals will hang down, and also the steering wheel. So here's the steering wheel and steering column, pretty much all ready. But I did have some issues with the door panels and the seats. I was trying to foil them and the paint was just peeling right off. Apparently I didn't wash these, so that does happen. Sometimes I get in a hurry and I thought I washed everything. And these I apparently didn't, so I got to reprime these and respray these, but I do have extra paint. So that's kind of what's going on with these parts here. I just kind of wanted to show this one. But at the same time, I'm also working on the convertible, which that's this box right here, those of you guys following along. So there's the convertible version, which is a 409. So, and this one I did paint Evening Orchid. So you guys have seen the body. It's still sitting here off to the side. But it's almost ready for its turn. But I started playing with everything else. I got the up top and glued the rear window in. That'll be going on here real soon. I started working on interior. But here's the interior of this one. The only real difference here is the back here for the convertible versus the coupe. So there are some differences in that. So the door cards are different and the back here is different, but the seats and everything else are the same. But I did get the bare metal foil and the white and paint on there. There were some decals, but the decals were crumbling, so I was having some issues with the decals. It's a mid-90s Monogram kit, and that seems to happen. So I got bare metal foil on the door panels, silver paint on the SS emblem right there. Whole console's done and ready. Did some detail painting of all of that. So, the interior is looking really, really nicely. Pretty excited about that, especially when I start mocking it up and getting it in here. Let's get it. Knocked the seat loose. There we go. And then it needs to go back a little bit. There we go. I don't know why the hood's there, because it's not going in the right spots, but anyway, that's what I get for putting it together in the wrong order. It gives you an idea what the interior looks like, and then I'll have to re-glue this. There's only those tiny little mounts, so there's not much that actually holds this seat down. So, not much to actually hold it, but you got to be a little careful. So, there we go. This interior is just about done. Same thing, I'm working on the dash on it. This one, there's decals here. So I added a little bit more clear to the decals to get them to stick and sit down. But I still got some detailing to do on this dash. And then I got this steering column and wheel ready as well. So, and that one has a decal in it. So, but the main thing is I also finished the chassis on this one. Now, my last video, I was showing you the white walls on the tires. And that was a lot of fun. But the weird part was, like, these ones on the convertible came off with regular thinner, no problem. These ones didn't want to come off with thinner, even though, pretty much the same thing. So I had to use the rubbing alcohol and it came off. And then, I was having trouble getting the paint to actually stick to the tires too. but I eventually, got them done. So pretty happy with both of those. But the chassis are real similar, but this one's a 409 and this one's a 396. So when it comes to the rest of the kit, it's kind of interesting that the exhaust pipes are exactly the same. They just glue in a different spot, but they are the same. So kind of interesting like that. I don't know if I got the exhaust manifold in the right spot on that, but it reached it and then glued down, and it appears to be, fitting in the right place. So the manual trannies on both of them, which the transmissions are different, engines are different. The rest of the chassis is exactly the same. All the rear suspension and everything, just a lot of parts to it, but really nicely detailed. But got all those parts together, and then all the front suspension together. One of them doesn't want to sit flat, and I'm kind of fighting with it because you glue so much stuff in there, and it's just kind of odd. But when it comes to the two motors, here's the 409, and this one's got, more decals. For some reason, the convertible kit has them. Maybe the later Foose kit has a lot better decals. A lot of the later kits do. So, maybe I'll look in a set of decals from that kit. But like how that 409 came out, and it's the last year for the 409, but drops right in there. And right now with everything, you still see the detail and everything. Haven't done a whole lot of detail painting to this one, but there's the 409 chassis. And then here's the 396 here, completely different air cleaner, engine, exhaust manifolds. I mean, and I did the intake manifold in aluminum. Not so sure I should have done that. There's a whole bunch of different reference pictures, and I wasn't sure 100% what on the Impala is correct. So the instructions kind of tell you to paint it aluminum. So I kind of went with, that, but, all kinds of different things, whether it has chrome valve covers, but usually only the solid lifter engines had the chrome valve covers when it came to the Corvettes and some of them. So it's kind of, not really a rule with GM, but, the lower horsepower ones, so maybe the intake should have been orange. But still, nice contrast and everything, so it looks really nice. Where this one, the intake is orange, but it's a 409. They were all kind of that way. Will it focus? Yeah. But, I don't have any models with the 409 engines built. I did some a long time ago, but they're long gone. But anyway, so both chassis are pretty much done and ready. And we're working on the interiors here. The interiors drop right in kind of nicely too. So when you do this, you see it hides, firewall fills it all up, brake booster and everything there. And then you gotta make sure you paint the underside because it does show up through that big window. So getting all that detailed. But, it's all gonna glue in place. So I definitely need to re-glue that in place because I knocked it loose. But a little bit more detail painting on the dash and everything, and that's ready. And then it'll be ready to start putting it into the body. So this one's much farther along with this one, but I do need to get a little bit of time and paint these and start working on that and some of the foiling on this because this is gonna be fun to do. But it's funny, here's the evening orchard paint and then the blue paint. I can't think of what color this actually is on that, but baby boy, baby girl, baby reveal. Gender reveal party colors. But kind of enjoying doing these, especially side by side when you look at the differences between the two later motor and early motor, 409, 396. They were both not available at the same time. But anyways, you guys, that's me kind of rambling on there. But wanted to show you these, especially interiors. Great kits with a lot of detail and a lot of opportunity to detail them and everything. So, I'm enjoying it, especially it's got the lens in there for the gauges, but this one doesn't have the decal in it. The other one does. Maybe you can see the difference here. Yeah. But, I'll get some detail painting here and some on the front here and really got to, get that going. But lots of reference material. Anyways, you guys, thought I'd show these off and kind of share it. And, it won't be long before these two are done. And then I'll move on to some of the other projects that are, going as well. All right, well, that's enough rambling on for now. So you guys, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, all your comments and everything. I really do appreciate it. And hit that subscribe button, especially if you like this content and everything and you're a model car fan. Share it, everything, get the word out. Love to get my subscribers. I'm at a little over 15,000. Would really like to get to 20,000. We'll see how quickly I can make that happen with your guys' help in the next year or so. Really appreciate that. And check out our sponsor, Hobby Nut Models. I got a link in the video description below, and see what he's got in there. And thanks you guys for tuning in and everything. You guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.